Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Buck Roll. Alright, I woke up this morning and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, and I've been doing a lot of like going places and seeing things kind of vlogs lately, and wanted to kind of continue that theme, but I wasn't really sure what to look, where to go and what to do. And I ended up looking on the internet a little bit and kind of thought maybe I'd do a cemetery vlog. I haven't done one of those in a long time. And so I looked at Find a Grave and in the Waco area looking for any famous people that might be buried locally here. And a name popped up that I recognized immediately from one of Jordan's vlogs. I'd never heard of this person until about 2 years ago. If you recall, about 2 years ago, Jordan came and visited me here in Waco and went and did a bunch of vlogs in the area at the time. And one of those vlogs was about a guy named Billy Joe Shaver. And if you recall the story, Billy Joe was in a bar called Papa Joe's Texas Tavern, which is just a few miles south of Waco, and apparently he got in a little trouble there. And I found out that Billy Joe passed away about a year ago, and I'm gonna go find his grave. So let's go. So this is Papa Joe's Texas Saloon. If you remember Jordan's vlog from a couple years ago, you'll recall the story that Billy Joe Shaver was inside and got into an argument with a guy named Billy Byron Coker. And apparently Billy was kind of a loudmouth and started just being really rude and being really abusive. And Billy told him to, and Billy Joe Shaver told him to basically knock it off. And it ended up out here in the back, and Billy Joe Shaver shot Billy Coker right in the face. It wasn't a lethal shot, and he survived the wound, but Billy Joe got arrested and was later acquitted for the shooting. He claimed basically it was self-defense, and that was the end of it. Now, allegedly, when they got out in the back here, several witnesses claimed that Billy Joe Shaver said to Billy Coker, "Where do you want it?" right before he shot him. And according to Billy, he shot him right between the words mother and effer. And that basically stopped the fight right there. Billy Coker dropped his knife and apologized, and Billy Joe Shaver basically said, "You know what, if you'd done that before, this wouldn't have happened." So anyway, I'm not gonna really go through the whole thing. Jordan did a far better vlog on it, and you can check that out. That is episode 1227 if you want to go check that out. And we are gonna go to Billy Joe Shaver's grave. All right, we are here at the Waco Memorial Park. I've actually driven by this cemetery a bunch of times, but I've never actually been here. So kind of beautiful grounds around here. And I'm basically in section A, which is where Billy Joe Shaver is supposedly buried. I'm just trying to find right now where the grave is. I know he's in plot 195-A in section A. So it's just a matter of figuring out how and where all this stuff is. Kind of figure out the pattern, how everything's organized. It looks like as I move more this direction, we're getting into the lower letters of the alphabet. So hopefully that would mean that he's like right on the far extreme here. And I'm not, like I said, I'm just gonna have to wander around until I find what I'm looking for. Oftentimes what I'll do when I'm wandering around a cemetery, if I'm trying to figure out where somebody is that I will look at one of the names on the marker, and I'll find that on Find a Grave and kind of get a bearing where we are, and then kind of use that to work my way over to where we're looking for. See, I saw Billy on that one, and that one kind of made me stop for a second, but obviously that's not the right Billy. So I'm gonna, I think, probably just look at one of the names on the marker, find out what plot that is, and then that'll at least give me an idea where I am. Alright, so my original plan of kind of trying to triangulated based on the locations of known graves. Didn't really work out that well because apparently the only grave in the area that gives it a specific location is Billy Joe Shaver's. All the rest of them just say what section they're in, don't actually say where in the section they are, you know, what the plot number is. So I looked at a picture I found of the graveyard, and it turns out I recognized that tree, and that tree in the background of the picture of the graveyard. And I noticed that the grave itself was in an area that was in shade, and so I found this tree here, and you know, you can see the highway in the background from the picture, and I found this shade tree and I stumbled upon it. Here's the final resting place of Billy Joe Shaver. Passed away almost a year ago now, because today's October 25th and he passed away last year on October 28th. So he's been here for almost a year. Obviously there have been a few fans that have shown up and left a little bling on his grave. But here he is, the final resting place of Billy Joe Shaver. Beloved brother, husband, father, uncle, and friend, country songwriter, icon, singer, and actor. August 16, 1939 to October 28, 2020. I guess this was his wife, Brenda Joyce Shaver, who passed away about 20 years ago. And Eddie Shaver, I'm guessing son. Apparently Billy is a popular guy here. As I was doing that last segment, I know some other fans came up and they wanted to pay their respects to Billy too. So I'm going to give them a little distance. They claim that they'd you know, met him a few times, seen him perform a few times, and like I said, I'm going to give them their chance to pay their respects, and then we'll continue this. So I decided to give that other group their time to pay their respects. They said they'd seen Billy Joe Shaver perform on a couple of occasions, and so I figured, well, they knew him a little bit better than I did, considering I never actually met him. So I kind of moved off, let them have their few moments, and then we'll continue on with this. So yeah, here we are. So if you're ever at the Waco Memorial Park in Waco, Texas, it's just right, this is the front entrance right here. It's the first section on the right when you come in, and it's right underneath this big tree. Rest in peace, Billy Joe Shaver. Where do you want it? Got a big old nasty spider guarding the grave here. So I think that's all that I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.